There are 25 new locally acquired cases of coronavirus in Victoria. 21 of those cases are linked to known outbreaks. 12 of those, only 12 of those, have been in isolation throughout their infectious period. There were 32,280 test results received overnight, and I thank each and every one of those more than 32,000 Victorians who went and got tested yesterday. That's such an important part of our fight against this virus. It's such an important part in our steady steps towards reopening and getting control of this once again. There were 23,076 Victorians who were vaccinated yesterday through our state-run clinics. That's a significant number, right up there with our best performing days. One of our biggest days on record, and certainly the biggest for a Saturday since the vaccination program in our state centres began. As all Victorians know, I think we are leading the way in terms of the number of state sites and the number of jabs that have been administered through our state clinics, and we thank all of those nurses and others who are doing that really important work. That's how we will get to 70% and 80% as fast as possible. Of course, supply remains the biggest limiting factor, but the additional appointments that we announced on Friday and the target of 1 million doses over the next 5 weeks, I'm really pleased today to be able to announce that there'll be a further 84,000 appointments added to the website today and into tomorrow. So you can go online today, tomorrow, and book with certainty. So that's the best part of 300,000 additional appointments. That'll be available as part of our 5-week 1 million jabs in 1 million arms campaign. There are 1 million reasons to get vaccinated. They're all very personal, they're all very different. But from as someone standing at this podium, it's all about getting us opened up again and keeping us open. It's about a different set of rules. It's about resuming our economic recovery that is the envy of so many other parts of the nation, with strong growth and many, many jobs created. It's also about preventing people being admitted to hospital, being gravely ill, and of course it's about preventing people from dying. Now, these announcements, this additional 84,000 appointments, does not relate to the announcements that the Prime Minister has made today, where there is pleasingly some additional Pfizer that's become available. That is good news. We always want to see more vaccine rather than less. I'm not entirely certain when that will come to us. I wouldn't advise anyone to change their plans based on that. Book with confidence based on what we announced last Friday, based on what I'm announcing today, which is another 84,000 appointments. They're a mixture of AstraZeneca and Pfizer. If you book at a state clinic, you come along, you'll speak to an experienced health professional, they'll have a conversation with you about whether AstraZeneca works for you, whether it's safe for you, and you can then make informed consent. The Chief Health Officer is not here today, but if I can quote him yet again, the best vaccine is the one you can get today. No one should delay on the basis that there's more coming. Yes, there is more coming. When that occurs, who knows? That can be highly variable, and the more people that are protected faster, then the greater the benefit to all of us. That's why getting vaccinated as soon as possible, and particularly knowing that there are these extra appointments available, is so important. That's why we want to get 1 million, if not more, jabs into arms over the next 5 weeks. Now, I just want to make a couple of comments in relation to where we find ourselves at the moment. There's far too many cases there are far too many cases, firstly. Then there are many cases that are not linked. Now, they invariably become linked over time because we do all that coronavirus detective work and we interview and re-interview and we sort of find those missing pieces. But there are a number of mystery cases, and those numbers continue to grow. And that's really challenging. If we were to reopen the whole economy, if we were to reopen and let people move freely right now, then we would finish up where Sydney's at. Thousands of cases, not cases in the 10s and 20s, but thousands of cases, and hundreds of people in hospital, and many of them, very, very unwell. We would finish up with deaths. If there was another way, then we would choose that alternative. There isn't. We have to continue to be vigilant. And I know this is getting really hard. It's getting really frustrating. It's getting really difficult. But I just say to people, look, a sneaky and illegal visit to regional Victoria, it's just not worth it. It's not worth potentially spreading this virus. A pub crawl, an impromptu or pre-planned. Victoria Police are having a close look at that, and I'll let them update you later on today. But a pub crawl, and that's what it was in Richmond last night, is not worth it. It's just not worth it. None of us should be doing anything that potentially spreads this virus, because this virus is not something anyone wants to get. We're not talking about people in their 90s, that's tragic enough, but we're talking about people dying in their 30s and 40s and 50s. This will go where the vaccine isn't. This will mean more and more people are in intensive care. For yourself, for your family, for people you know, for people you'll never meet, for our health professionals who'll have to care for people because of your selfish decisions. Please, I appeal to every Victorian. Please do what the vast majority are doing. Following the rules, doing the right thing, and every day taking us a day closer to being to the other side of this. I know it's difficult. I know it's difficult. But so too is being on a machine to breathe. So too is having to nurse someone in full PPE upon PPE, hour after hour, shift after shift. I've had some of the conversations with family members who've lost a loved one. I've had conversations with nurses who've nursed them. This is not something that you can cheat your way out of, sneak your way out of. I think that Victorians can be very, very proud of everything that we've achieved. I think the vast majority of Victorians are absolutely doing the right thing, but I think there are some people who think these rules don't apply to them, and I just say the consequences are very, very significant and very serious, and I would appeal to every single Victorian, take these rules seriously. They are there for the best of reasons. Are they fun? No. Are they where we'd like to be? No. But we can't control what's going on in Sydney. We can't control the fact that this virus has come here, despite our best efforts to keep it out. But what we can control through our own decisions is how many people get this virus, how many people finish up in hospital, how many people finish up on a machine to breathe, and how quickly we get back open again. That's what we can control if we all just follow these rules. I'm so proud and grateful to the vast majority of Victorians who are doing the right thing. I don't want to move the focus away from them. But there is a sense, I think, out there, and you can see it a little bit, and the data tells us a little story as well about this, that maybe some people think these rules are optional. I know it's very difficult. I know it's hard. I know no one's enjoying this. But we can't pretend this is over because we desperately want it to be. We just can't. The only thing that will flourish are case numbers if we think that we can sidestep these rules, that we can do things that we want to do. That's not where we're at. These numbers are quite concerning. We want to see these numbers come down, and I think that we are seeing these numbers grow and much greater risk of those mystery cases seeding further if people continue to not follow the rules. Again, I'm not for a moment wanting to take away from those who are doing the right thing, and that is the vast majority, and we're proud of you and grateful to you, but there are some people who I think are just through a sense of fatigue and perhaps beyond that, a sense that these rules don't apply to them. Well, they do. Young, fit, healthy people are just as much at risk as anybody else. This doesn't discriminate. The rules don't discriminate. They're important. They're there for everybody. And I just appeal to people. We've done this before. We can do it again. We absolutely can. We can drive these cases down to very low numbers, have them all contained, and then be able to open up again. Just on New South Wales, you know, we send our best wishes to the people of New South Wales. We know what a statewide lockdown is like. We know what hundreds of cases is like. We know what it's like to have many, many people in hospital, and sadly to see people lose their life to this virus. They've been given additional vaccines today. I know some Victorians will ask the question, well, why are they getting more vaccines than we are? Well, nothing else they're doing is working. Nothing else has worked. They've got to vaccinate their way out of this now. We don't want to get to that point, because the flip side of that is hundreds of people in hospital and people dying. We don't want that. We've got a chance to do what we've done before, and that is drive these case numbers down and get the place open up again. But I just again appeal to every single Victorian, please follow these rules, please play your part, please make decisions that you can be proud of, not decisions that you will want to hide from. There's no hiding from this virus. There's no cheating your way around it. There's no breaking your rules. There's no breaking rules or breaking rules, to the point where you turn that into some sort of a successful strategy. It doesn't work. It just does not work. To all those who are doing the right thing, thank you. That is the overwhelming majority. But sadly, we're as strong as our weakest point when it comes to this virus, and that's why everyone needs to do the right thing. There'll be time to go on pub crawls. There'll be time to do all sorts of things we'd like to be doing, and that's when we get to 80% of the community vaccinated. What I'm trying to achieve is that we can be open for some of the time between now and getting to 80%, not locked down like New South Wales are going to be for months and months and months. It's on every single Victorian to play their part, and thank you to all of those who are.